My name is Megan, and today I'm going to be discussing about progress monitoring. Progress monitoring is a tool used by teachers to evaluate and monitor a student's performance in particular areas such as reading, writing, and even social behavior. So it's looking for students' progress and to see where their performance lies in very specific areas and to see where they need more evaluations and assessments done on that particular subject. How does progress monitoring work? Well, when a student is identified that they are at risk at a particular area, such as reading, writing, social behavior, science, etc., by a universal screening measure, which was also discussed with using response to interventions tier 1, where universal screening is done to test all students to see if they are labeled as at risk and where their challenges lie. Then a student will be monitored frequently, such as monthly, weekly, or bi-weekly, to see where their progress remains in terms of if evaluation is done or if a intervention is done. That will be progressed to see if they are where their expected rate of learning is and what their actual rate of learning is. What are the benefits of progress monitoring? Well, students will be able to learn more quickly by receiving the appropriate instruction. Students will be able to make more instructional decisions. There'll be more documentation for the student progress to be able to show not only to other educators but to the parents as well. Communications with the families and other professionals will be a lot more open, and we'll be able to discuss the student's progress better by using progress monitoring. It will help involve more higher expectation for students so that no matter if the student is struggling, we will still give them more high expectations. We won't water down the material for them. We'll make sure that we have the more highest goals set out for them just as any other student. And it even hopefully may decrease special education referrals, so not all students will have to go into special education if progress monitoring is done correctly. What challenges face progress monitoring? Making sure that there is a visual representation of data so that you are able to show to the parents and other educators and they are able to easily see and understand what the data is showing. Data collection systems needs to make sure that it's scheduled on a natural time for in school, and also for the general education schedule. It cannot be at all conflicting with the general education schedule, which could cause concern. It needs to clearly identify intervention and how can you determine as it is being actually useful or even accurate. It needs to make sure that there is measurable outcomes, and that can become challenging to try and create that in terms of what would be an appropriate outcome for the student. What are other names for progress monitoring? Response to intervention, or RTI, curricular-based measurement, or CBM, check-in, check-out sheet, which I've used when I was student teaching, where you basically have the student have specific goals set out. So I sat in my chair without, getting up and disrupting class, or I raised my hand when I want to ask a question, and then you put a smiley face or a star if they were able to do those tasks, and the student would be the one to monitor for each hour if they were able to successfully raise their hands, stay in their seat when asked, or clean up the table, etc. And the check and check sheet is a really good way to progress monitor for the student to take control of. And also academic learning time checklist. There's a bunch of other, I'm sure, of different types of progress monitoring, but those are just a fair few of what different systems or types there are.